Okay.
And Christian Gartner from Germany.
Okay.
All right, Christian, you go ahead and set it down.
All right.
We're on. All right, so we are in Mineral del Monte in Mexico, and we are about 2 hours west of Mexico City. And I've met Christian here. Him and I have been talking for months now online and trying to coordinate us meeting, because Christian is heading north, I'm heading south, and we were able to make it work and meet here and have this meeting. Christian, as I've done on many of these other interviews, I first want to find out who you are. What kind of person does a trip like this? Give us the breakdown of Christian's life up to this point.
So yes, my name is Christian Gartner, nickname Cedric, and I'm from Germany, 33 years old. And basically I'm relatively new to motorbike riding itself, and then even traveling. So I only did a motorcycle license about 3 years ago. Or 4, with the intention to travel. So I was very big into it. So my ambition was quite big from the beginning.
So you didn't grow up with motorcycles?
No, not at all. Not at all. And even at the time when I started riding motorcycles, I didn't have anyone to ask. So I was basically I learned by failing my way up. but it's just, I do believe as the people you meet on the road or who do this kind of traveling, they're totally fine with asking questions, doing things not perfectly. And I do believe if you want to set up yourself for traveling or for success, it's a good spirit and attitude to allow yourself to make mistakes and fail.
Okay.
So,
well, absolutely, because even as a seasoned traveler, Christian's been on the road 16 months, by the way, as I meet him. So he is far ahead of a lot of people I've met so far as traveling. But there must have been something in I'll call it your previous life, your pre-motorcycle life. I know you have a military background, schooling in the U.S. Give us a brief on that real quick. Yeah.
So yes, I do believe that the biggest drive for me to do this traveling is curiosity. I do believe in us human natures. The curiosity or the drive to explore things is really big, especially into me. So even at a young age, when I had a chance to travel around by being a professional athlete by the age of 15, I was able to meet other nationalities, to go to different places. So I was really curious about what it looks like on the other part. So having an open mindset, allow yourself to be surprised is really big into it. And also because, especially in the time of the internet, we get to have so many secondhand experiences. For us, it's easy to go on the internet, especially on YouTube, and type in something that you are curious about. You want to watch a video about South America, about riding in Patagonia, and then you can watch it on YouTube. And the great thing about it, I do believe it's very helpful to get us, to spark the fire, to give us the spark to go out and venture it ourselves.
But based off of what you see on those mediums, the YouTube and whatnot, you're saying is necessary to install that drive to go travel?
I do believe it can be a mix of both. So while it can be a big inspiration to do the things ourselves, because for many of us, if we don't know it beforehand that it has been done before, it's so easy to say, oh, it hasn't been done before. How am I able to do it? But if you see someone else who has done it before, it can be a big inspiration. So if they can do it, you can do it ourselves. So and kind of like what I like to describe as the world is getting smaller and smaller, especially the countries in the world. So probably there has already been someone else. So someone else has already been doing it. So there's very little new you can do yourself, but it doesn't have to take away the experience for yourself. So because many others have been driven to Ushuaia on a motorbike, it shouldn't take away from your own experience to do it yourself. So it is still a really great experience that you can appreciate.
And we were talking about this at breakfast this morning, how two people can do the exact same route,
right?
All right, to the kilometer, in same town, same area to see something, and get two very different reports. So that tells you that even though you're doing something others have done, your experience is going to be unique, no matter what.
Yes,
that's why you do it.
So, and that's also quite a nice thing about you. So your experience varies from your perspective and how you look at and your personal view, and also your attitude, your spirits, drives into it. So everyone likes to have their adventure when they have their own comfort zone or things how they like to travel. You know, and another topic we hit on, which I'm learning or seeing more and more with people I meet, is the concept of not having a timetable or a schedule. We've talked a lot about this. He's 16 months into this, and you really, even today, you don't really have an end date. And that what that creates for you, tell us why that's a benefit to not have an end date. Well, I do say that having the time is your greatest asset on a journey, because first of all, it allows you to make adjustments. And then second, the moment you're on a schedule, you have to meet a deadline, stress comes in. So, and if you worry about, a deadline in 1 or 2 weeks, the thing is, it takes away from the moment. So if you're traveling the greatest route in the Andes Mountains, but you're already two weeks ahead because you need to be at a certain place, it takes away from the presence, right? And especially even on my journey, this is something I had to learn myself, is to make adjustment, because in political situation in some of the countries constantly change. So, and then also my plans or how I envision my journey is totally different than how it evolved over time. So adaptability is also a great asset or a great attitude you can have, and also it allows you to make adjustments to your current situation. Maybe there's a spot you really enjoy and you really wish to explore more, or you just want to stay there. So yeah, because what I'm hearing is, if you have two things, you have the ability to adapt and you have the time to adapt, right? Mm-hmm. It creates for a very or more relaxing trip. You're not always worrying about the future at that point. Yes. With those two assets, right? And I know, and we understand this is not for everyone. A lot of people have a timetable and only a certain amount of time to travel. But if you can, it's a great way to do it. Yeah. Especially, well, with the adaptability comes also ambiguity tolerance. Okay. So how well you process not knowing things when you get into a new situation. Because, if you have everything planned out and you know what you get yourself into, it feels, that's a comfort zone. So ambiguity tolerance is I do know I approach a border crossing. That's still really exciting for you. Every border crossing, the first time, I'm excited. I don't know what to expect. But then I tell myself, I just do things step by step, even though they might take a lot of time. I just tell myself something eventually always happens. So, and then I kind of coach myself mentally all the time, that where I reflect on a situation, and if I feel anxious, did I try to rationalize those things, and because I know I have the time and nothing bad is going to happen, that I'm much more casual about this. This is ambiguity, complacency, or as a skill set, being able to deal with ambiguous situations, having the time, and what was the third one? I do believe it's also adaptability and adaptability. Openness. Right. These are like, most people talk about oil in their motor and all that. These are the things that I want to learn about on my travels, and so I think this is helpful for people to hear. And you can pre-train yourself for these things, in my opinion, before your trip.
have these skill sets you're talking about.
Yeah, I do believe that, or I like to tell people, because if I tell people about my journeys, they're like, "Oh, you're an adventurer. You do those great things." They wouldn't imagine doing themselves. But I like to explain them, adventure, which is kind of a buzzword, is a mindset. So for me, the big part is of exploration, the curiosity to try new things out. But that's a mindset you can apply in any situation, even in your hometown. So how many new restaurants you haven't been yet, but being able to go to a new restaurant, to meet new people, just chat them up, and just having the openness and allow yourself. It's okay to be disappointed at times, but taking the chance to let others or new situations surprise you and get something good out of it. I do believe, for me, that's a very nice attitude and perspective to new things. Well, I really enjoy it.
And it must be working, because you're 16 months in and you're still smiling. So,
yes.
Yeah, exactly. So what you say is true. Christian, we're going to wrap it up here soon, but I do give us a real quick briefing of where you've been. Tell us where you landed, the countries you did, and tell us where you're going, if you don't mind.
So, in the past, I've transported my motorbike from Hamburg, Germany to Valparaiso in Chile. Went all the way down to Ushuaia, to the most southern end of South America. Did Bolivia, Brazil, the Guyanas, and went back to Peru, Colombia, shipped my bike to Panama, and now I'm riding up to North America, to the US and Canada. And
hitting the northern point of Alaska.
Yes.
Like so many.
So I'm really excited for the national parks and do more outdoor stuff.
And then, of course, you're what I call off script. At that point, you're not sure. But that's so far down the line, you'll deal with it when you get there.
Yeah. And so there's a certain idea of how I envision it to be, but by my own experience, it can change all the time.
That's that.
And sometimes that's the beauty of it. Sometimes it's if plans don't work out as you wanted them to be, sometimes they turn out to be better than I imagined it. Actually,
yes. Keep the expectations low, and you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, everyone, I meant to say this at the beginning. I'm gonna do a still shot right now on the screen of Christian and his Yamaha T7 and his setup, because I think everyone likes to see someone's setup, their rig. So
yes.
You're looking at that right now. I'm also going to mention that Christian has a YouTube channel and some other social media.
Yeah, social media, same on the...
I'll plug you like there's no tomorrow, man. I'll put that down in the comments area like I always do. And Christian, I want to thank you very much for joining me today.
Yes, and for any one of the viewers, if you have any questions, or if you have any questions, just don't be afraid to just text me, and I'm happy to also to hear about you, what you want to like, and what adventure you start for yourself.
Right on, Christian. Thanks again, man.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.